Hello, 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 everyone. Good day, good day, good day to you. I don't know where you're at right now, but if you're seated, that's wonderful. If you're not, that's okay too. For this audio, I would like for us to take some deep and slow breaths to begin, just to get really centered and calm our energy systems down. Just be here right now in this moment, this space, and this beautiful place together. Gosh, isn't that a gift? Let's do that. So I'm going to do a breath exercise with you. And on 3, I want you to bring the breath in through your nose, hold it on the top of the breath, and while internally saying to yourself, breathing in God or receiving God. On the out breath, after you hold it for that moment, internally speaking to yourself, giving God. Okay? We're going to do 5 of these breaths, really helping you tap into your I am presence, connecting with the truth, which is your God in a body, having a beautiful experience as a human being, just doing your very best, right? And with every bit of information and circumstances you've been given, right? That you're learning and growing. That's what we came here for. And the truth is, every moment is God. So just tapping into that, okay? 1, 2, and 3. Take that breath in, receiving God. Holding it. Letting go, giving God. 1, 2, and 3. Receiving God. Holding it. And giving God, letting go. 1, 2, and 3, receiving God. And giving God. 1, 2, and 3, bringing it in, receiving God. Holding it. And giving God. We're going to do it one more time. Receiving God, holding it, letting it go, giving God. Now just moving into a normal, deeper breath here. Just starting to notice your breath. Observe your breath. Where are you at with your breath today? Is it easy to breathe? Is it flowing? Or perhaps you're feeling some tension in your breath already. See if you can just relax more into that tension as you breathe. Good job. Thank you so much. Hopefully you're feeling a little more grounded, a little more relaxed now to launch into our topic today that I'm very ready to share with you and talk to you about. I think it's such an important topic. And I have shared a little bit about it before in previous work that I've done on these audios, and I believe on a podcast somewhat as well. A very important topic, the topic of forgiveness. To forgive. Who do you think it is that we're most importantly supposed to forgive? Do you know who that is? That's right. Yourself. And how easy has it been for you to forgive yourself in this life for the things that you've done that are supposedly so bad or so wrong that you simply aren't worthy of forgiveness? Do you remember a time where you feel like you couldn't forgive yourself? Or maybe there's something going on right now in your life that you know without a shadow of a doubt, this is something I have not forgiven. What I did was not right, was not loving. And have you ever thought about who you're really hurting when you do something that maybe is out of alignment with your soul, you know, something you feel like you'd view as wrong rather than just out of alignment? Have you ever thought that maybe that was done because you had an immense amount of possible insecurity or pain or trauma that has not been processed or resolved within your system, so therefore you're still making choices that cause you to make choices that are, like I said, simply out of alignment with who you truly are? Perhaps you've lied or you've stolen, or perhaps you've cheated, or been really angry at someone and said vicious things that you regretted later. Whatever you've done, it can be forgiven. And sometimes we think, well, I can forgive myself, but I can't forgive somebody else. Well, I promise you, the journey of forgiveness within, if that was truly to have taken place, then you would be able to forgive the other. Absolutely. Because here's how it works. It is true that no one has the power to hurt you unless you let them hurt you. Now that is a spiritual lesson, a soulful, intense lesson. I know some of you right now are like, no, he hurt me or she hurt me, and that's just the end of it. I didn't hurt myself. They made a horrible choice, and therefore I got hurt, and they did that to me. Well, first, I think that when someone supposedly made a horrible choice, most likely they themselves were suffering. Right? Because let's just put it this way. If it's a choice that's hurtful to them or others, there's suffering involved. They're not doing it intentionally to you. And first and foremost, they're doing it to themselves, and therefore there's consequences to these choices, right? Which can also mean that you might hurt someone next to you while you're making your choice. That is out of alignment with your true divine soul self. So what I'm saying here is that, is there anything about the human condition already? I mean, you already know this. It's full of growth. It's full of learning, and it's not always easy. And sometimes our choices reflect our past. Some of our unresolved residual trauma, these past recordings, the simulacra, the simulations of the past that are still sitting inside of our cells, inside of our mind, and the mind is being utilized by the ego to create these stories or these circumstances to keep perpetuating. Look, evidence, see that person's going to hurt you. You're going to get hurt. Now you need to hurt them. Just this whole vicious cycle of karma just perpetuating itself, just like it will do until we finally stop the cycle. And we say no more. I love myself too much. I like myself too much to perpetuate this karma. Yes, I have made mistakes. I've done things that were out of alignment with my soul in this life. And at times I remember thinking, I'll never forgive myself. Because I saw the hurt that it caused myself, number one, the betrayal I caused of myself. That was the number one pain I needed to heal first before I could ever forgive myself for hurting others. Right? You got to forgive yourself first. You don't have to. It's a choice. You get to. You get to let yourself off the hook. You get to have compassion. How do we forgive ourselves? Through compassion. That's loving yourself even when you knew or you know you are suffering. You would have done it differently if you would have had different information. You would have done it differently if you had different circumstances. You would have done it differently if that trauma inside you was already released. You would have done it differently if the karma inside you wasn't attempting to perpetuate itself. You are still growing. You're still learning. And I know sometimes we wish we could be stronger, wiser, better in certain moments. But we're just at where we're at. I say that all the time to my clients about healing work. They're like, I'm older now and I should have already been further along than I am now. And I say to them, you are where you're at right now. Let's get started. You're not a bad person. You're not late. You're just ready for this next piece of your learning. This is the next piece. The readiness has come. Rather than judge it as late, judge it as it's time. I'm excited. Let's do this. Now, to heal and resolve karma, do you think that it's easy or fun sometimes? No. It can be very, very tough, very debilitating. And you can get through it. And you can forgive yourself. And you can let go and let God and set yourself free. Do you want to be free? And set yourself free. So you can be the me you came here to be. Right? So someone's saying right now, easier said than done. I've got something on my spectrum that can never be forgiven. Well, guess what? It can, and it starts with you. How did you treat yourself in the face of this experience? Were you gentle on yourself, or were you hard on yourself? Did you judge yourself or the other? Did you slander them? Did you curse them? Did you say, I could never be with someone who would do something like that? And you just victimize them from there? Perhaps when their action took place, supposedly, or whatever they said took place that hurt you, supposedly, right? You then became not only judgmental and angry with that person, but then you started to be hard on yourself, and maybe, I don't know, maybe you took up drinking for a while, or stopped exercising, or lay in your bed for a week and just stayed really depressed. Now, who do you think you really need to forgive in that circumstance then? Yourself. How you treated yourself in the face of the experience. In the face of what was the supposed trauma or betrayal or experience that rocked you so much that you said to yourself, I'll never forgive. And who do you think you hurt the most when you say that? Yourself. So if you already are angry with the person that supposedly hurt you, and now you're also angry at yourself and persecuting yourself, that is so uncalled for. You already experienced some pain, right? So now you're going to be hurtful and harmful to yourself? Doesn't sound like a good recipe. So can you forgive yourself today? Take a deep and slow breath. And therefore, can you forgive this other person who, just like you, was doing the best you could when you might have hurt someone, supposedly, right? And therefore, now they're doing the same to you. Can you forgive yourself? And can you forgive this person? And can you forgive this experience of us all doing the very best we can with the information that we've received thus far, as well as the circumstances? None of us want to choose to be hurtful, I promise you. We're God in a body. Did I not just say that when we began this audio? You're God in a body. God isn't hurtful. The ego can be hurtful. Our shadow can be hurtful. Our inner unhealed child can be hurtful. But God? Who your true divine nature, who you truly are, is loving, kind, compassionate, beautiful, generous, integrous, honest. All of these wonderful traits exist inside you, inside your soul, inside my soul. So I say, claim those beautiful traits and forgive yourself. Be gentle on yourself. You deserve it. Let's take another deep breath. Thank you so much. I'm going to lead us into a prayer, a closing prayer. Thank you so much for joining me on this audio. I'm grateful. Moving into prayer. So I thank you, Mother, Father, God, Goddess, for this beautiful, beautiful, divine, blessed day. For I know that in this day, the present moment is happening. And in this moment, I know that everything that I seek, everything I desire, it is already within me, already within everyone who's listening on this audio. All the beauty, the joy, the bliss, the faith, the compassion, the gratitude, the abundance, the prosperity, the clarity, you name it, it is all within. There is no lack. There is no limitation. The only thing standing in the way of us walking forward in a place of peace and joy and light is our self. So I ask you, Mother, Father, God, Goddess, in this prayer, please, for all of us that are a part of this prayer, to experience a great degree of healing and letting go right now of any fears, worries, doubts, insecurities, judgments, limiting energies, lack of forgiveness, lack of patience, control strategies, safety strategies, you name it. Please, I ask you to help release this and let this go from each and every one of our bodies right now. Thank you. Take a deep breath, letting it go. I know that there's nothing that I've ever done that was so wrong or so bad that I couldn't forgive myself or another. So I set myself free right now. I forgive myself. And I forgive all those I judged as hurtful, harmful beings to me right now, the best of my ability. I set myself free. And with these words I say, and so it is, and so it is. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's take that deep breath. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for joining me today. Blessings to you all. Okay, bye-bye.